káàbọ̀ sílé ológun.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'll be doing a movie review of Jagun Jagun, the Nigerian movie which is currently on Netflix. This movie was directed by Tope, Adebayo and Adebayo Tijani, and this movie was also produced by Femi Adebayo. So this movie focuses on the story of a young man, Botija, who dreams of becoming a warrior. So he goes to this warrior school where he trains with the best of the best to become a great warrior. And in so doing, he joins an elite army. Soon finds himself caught up in a war between a powerful warlord, and he also finds love as well. Themes in this movie, we have the theme of war, we have the theme of love, we have the theme of battle for supremacy, we have the theme of greed, and we have the theme of jealousy. So I'll talk about the cast in this movie. This movie was filled with a lot of star-studded actors, and everybody delivered as they were supposed to. All the characters, despite the fact that there were a lot of big actors and big names on set, everybody was given a chance to shine in their own individual character. But for the lead actor in the movie will be Ogundiji. So he's the bad guy in this scenario. So he's the all-powerful warlord who everybody fears, everybody respects. Like he's very violent, he's very aggressive, and he's very authoritative. He gives orders, he commands people to do as he pleases. So he wants things to go his way, and he loves being the center of attention. When you watch the movie, you understand how he acted his villain role very, very well. And the actor who took up this role was Femi Adebayo. So he embodied the bad guy villain role in this movie throughout the whole movie, from the beginning to the end of the movie. You could tell that this character was very, very crazy. He was insane. He was all powerful. Like his power was driving him mental. Yeah. So he acted his role very, very well. As a crazy warlord, with his charms and his supernatural stuff and his quest for more power and all of that. Then the next lead act would be Otija. So he is the center of the whole story. He's a guy who went on a journey to becoming a great warrior. So he didn't come from a clan of warriors or anything like that. So he was just trying to avenge the death of his clan and his parents and his village and everything, everything. So he just wanted to become somebody very great, a great warrior, to be able to take up vengeance against those responsible for the death of his town and his family and everything, everything. So things now get complicated when he falls in love with a very beautiful and powerful young lady, Kita, whom he hopes to gain the right to marry her, and begins to question the motives of Ogundija. So basically, the storyline, like everything, is just a typical good versus evil thing. Like Ogundija was the bad guy, and this other guy was the good guy, and it was just the whole power tussle between the both of them throughout the whole movie. And also, the name of the movie, Jagun Jagun, means warrior in Yoruba, and it was shouted throughout the whole movie by Ogundija. So when he shouts Jagun Jagun, his trainees, the boys that he was teaching how to fight, they will now respond, like, say, in response to that, they'll be like, we fight with our charms and with our sweat. So whenever he shouts Jagun Jagun, that was their response. So basically, this charm, like most of them have charm, like some of them, their body is bulletproof, waiting. They shall have some supernatural powers like that. And Botija had his own power. He was able to talk to trees. Botija had a special connection to trees, and he was able to talk to them, ask them for things, and they would obey him. So the movie was full of a lot of supernatural things and supernatural beings, and he gave this feeling of like a folk tale, like all these mystical movies, but it was set in a very classical Nigerian movie setting. From the costume to the makeup to the setting of the whole movie, it took us back to the olden days of a typical traditional movie. So there were like a lot of other characters in this movie. For one, we have Kitan, who was the young lady Botija fell in love with. So she was a very beautiful, very powerful, very stern woman. And the encounter when they met first, because Botija was one who could not tolerate injustice, and he was one that would always speak up against something. He was very, very bold, and she liked that about him. So I think that was one of the first things that drew her to him. And they had a very cute love story throughout the whole fighting and war and everything, everything. Yeah, and also the Ogun Diji, his wife, who was Fathia Balogun. So she acted her role very well. She was also a very powerful character. She was also a very, very strong African woman too. So she was able to support, and she was able to carry on the role of a wife of somebody as powerful as, Ogundija, and she delivered on her part very, very well. And you could even see like the sacrifices she had to make for, for Ogundija to be very, very powerful. So it just shows you the length of how far, a woman's love would take her. And despite all that she did for him, he was still ready to betray her, and he was still ready to shame her. There were just a lot of characters in the movie, like so many people, from Bimbo to, like, everybody in the movie was crazy. Even Mr. Macaroni, everybody, there was just a lot of familiar faces. And it was nice that like nobody overshadowed anybody. So everybody acted in their own light. Everybody acted their scene, everybody delivered on their role as they were supposed to. So overall, the casting of the movie was top notch. The acting was 10 over 10. Jagun Jagun is a very visually impressive movie, from the fight scenes to their special effects to their slow motions to their makeup. Like, everything was very, very well done. Paid attention to every little detail, from the changing in the weather scene to the arm being cut off scene to their blood. Like, everything that they did was very, very realistic and very, very graphic. And just so you know, like, this movie is full of a lot of violence, bloody, gory scenes, because of it had a lot of fight scenes here and there. But yeah, like, something I didn't really like in the movie was whole different kingdom. Like, it was very confusing keeping up with the kingdoms that they were just showing us. Because when we start off the movie, we are getting into the flow of the movie. Then next minute you're being introduced to one kingdom and the next and the next and the next. So we're trying to understand how those all the kingdoms tie down to, the plots of the movie. But regardless, we later on get to understand, what every individual kingdom has to offer in the movie. Also nice to see the Yoruba culture being showcased in all its glory. Their tradition is one that's very, very beautiful to see, from their dressing to their makeup to their hair to the music to the dancing. Like, it was really beautiful to see how they embodied a typical Yoruba setting, a typical Yoruba movie. And it's a Yoruba speaking movie. So if you're not Yoruba like I am, don't worry, there will be subtitles for us to understand what the movie is telling us. So the movie also shows, like, it touches on morals. It passes the message of, this the scenario of Ogundija, where he was studying these young men who came to him, turned out to be great warriors, to go back, to their various kingdoms, their various lands, and fight to be able to protect them. But no, he decided to use them for his own selfish gain. He decided to use them to quench his thirst for power and more power. So yes, it also shows us how the youth must, stand up and unite for a good cause. So, like, stop killing one another for the greed and selfishness of politicians. So, like, it just telling youth to just wake up and, be aware of what's going on and to take proper necessary steps. So yeah, it also tells us to never underestimate the power of a woman, because no matter how she would be with you through thick and thin, like, when push comes to shove, like, there's only so much she can take. Because you can imagine how it was for, his wife living with him throughout all these years, and all the sacrifices she had to make for him to be all powerful and great and, feared across all the lands, and for him to turn his back and, betray her and all of that. So we should also be ready to bear the consequences of our actions, because Ogundija was very ready to send people out to do his dirty work. He was ready to send people out to kill and to, do whatever he pleases. He wasn't ready for the reaction. Like, every action has a reaction. So the consequences of all his transgression finally came to bite him. So obviously, like, you would watch the movie and you see that actually a lot of work was put into this movie, from the storytelling to the crew to the setting of the movie. Like, there was like a lot going on. There was a lot of cast, and they paid attention to detailing in this movie. And also, once you start up the movie, it will give you this vibe of Woman King, with the training center. And when they first tried getting into the school of warriors and the whole shooting thing, like when they're also training with the fighting and the drilling they were going through, it just reminded me of Woman King, which was also really nice. But yeah, like overall, the movie is a must watch. Like, it's something you will definitely enjoy seeing, and you should definitely check it out. So Jagun Jagun is a hit, and it is a true Nollywood epic movie. Like the storyline and the plot was something we did not expect. Like, I don't want to give spoilers, but just watch the movie. You understand what I'm saying. And the whole Ajemo twist was something you would not see coming as well. So like everything about the movie was really, really good. From the soundtrack to the music to the setting to the costume to the effects. The fight scenes was crazy. Like, everything was good. Overall, the movie is a 10 over 10. It's an action packed film, and you'll be entertained from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. So you should definitely check it out. It talks about the whole battle of good versus evil, and how good will always prevail over evil, and also shows us how greed can push people over the edge, and how greed can also be someone's downfall. Because obviously, with all the power he had, with all the money he had, he was still not satisfied. He just felt, that was Ogundija. He felt very threatened by Botija, who was just a simple guy who just wanted to be able to fight, to be able to protect things and the people that he loves. But Ogundija felt threatened because everybody was celebrating him and everybody was just praising him. He felt threatened. He felt like somebody was here to take his spot. So should be very careful of allowing pride, allowing greed, overwhelm us. And we should stay grounded, on our values. And yeah, so it's a very, very entertaining movie. Very, very entertaining movie. The storyline is crazy. The plot twist also. And also the way the movie ended. I don't know what to expect. Would there be a second one or what? Like, the movie is really, really good. It's a really good movie. So Jagun Jagun is on Netflix, produced by Femi Adebayo, and has a lot of A-list actors in it. Your fave's fave is in that movie. I'll put pictures of everybody that was in the movie that I remember. So yeah, if you watch this movie, give me your thoughts down in the comment section. If you haven't watched this movie, would you be checking it out as well? My favorite character in this movie would definitely have to be Botija. He delivered. He deserves an award for his performance. I've never seen Lateef Adedimeji, play a very, very serious role, a very powerful role. I know him from a lot of comedy scenes, a lot of feel good, laughing, jokey movies. It's a nice thing to see him step out of that box and to see him play a very, very compelling role. Like, he delivered on that movie insanely, And like everybody else, everybody that acted in that movie, like a lot of them delivered. Everybody delivered. The fight scenes, their battle scenes, the celebration scene, their festival scenes, like everything was really, really beautiful. It showcased the beauty in the Yoruba tradition. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section.